Infinite Wiz.
Introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? I'm Infinite Wiz, aka Shorty Real, alias Mac Hervelli, and I'm out here repping with FemaleMCs.com. He's been trying to get an interview for a minute, so here's your interview. You feel me? I'm out here in Brooklyn, Barclay, downtown. You know, the new Brooklyn, and repping hard. You know, doing this female MC thing. It's my career. I'm not trying to get on. This is what I do. You know what I mean? And I'm out here.
How long you been rapping?
Since I can remember. I remember the first stage I rocked, it was like 5th grade. And I remember it was like a DARE program and they had to do an essay, and I actually wrote a rap instead, and I got to perform it. I won the contest and perform it in front of the school and all that. And 5th grade, that was a long time. My dad, he was always into music, so I always had a studio in the house. He was trying to get me to sing, but I think I kind of like rebelled and did the hip hop thing, and been doing it ever since.
Who'd your dad work with?
Well, he was actually signed to Sugar Hill Records. He used to sing background for a lot of the R&B groups back in the day, because he sang that high note. So, you know, at the end of the day, he was signed with my cousins and his cousin and my aunt. The name was Fine Quality, was the name of the group, and Sylvia signed them back in the day. They had their single, All Dance was the single, and you know, he rode out and he did his thing, but he got mixed up with bad management. I would say early on, like when I was about 7, he was signed to Prince's ex-manager, and it was like some crazy deal. It didn't work out, so he dropped out the music industry, started doing his own thing independently. So I've seen the independent game just on the strength of my father. Like now he's a jazz musician, he's about to go on tour. He got a band now, so it's like I know it takes work, like your whole life, work. You know what I mean? And that's what I see. I had an example with my own father. So now I'm doing it, and I'm doing hip hop.
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
When did I fall in love with hip hop? I would say, well, I'm gonna give away my age though, but in the 90s, I'm like, you know, I'm an 80s baby, 90s hip hop, and then I'm like a Pac fan. I remember when I heard Pac, that first song when I saw Brenda Had a Baby, and I saw that video, and I was like, wow. And I heard the message, and I was like, that's what you could do with hip hop. And I think that was one of the first times I was like, I want to do that, or I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? And it's a culture, so I've been like, I live hip hop. I've been listening to hip hop forever, and it's like a part of my life.
How did you come up with your name?
Well, it started off as Shorty Real back in the day, because I'm short. I'm only 5'1", so I joined that club, the Shorty Club. And every time I be out, people be like, yo, Shorty Real, you real. So I just took the name Shorty Real, and then like maybe 6 years ago, I decided to change it. I started building with the Gods and the Earths, the Nation of Gods and Earths. Shout out to the nation, peace to the gods, peace to the earths. And they actually enlightened me, and that's one of the steps you choose your name after you finish the student enrollment. And I chose Infinite Wiz. Infinite wisdom is the full attribute, and because I feel like I'm always learning and always growing, and that's wise words, ways, and actions with everything I do. So Infinite Wiz.
So the Machiavelli name.
Yeah, after Infinite Wiz, well before Infinite Wiz, actually under the name Shorty Real, I put out a mixtape, Mac Hervelli, and I use a lot of Tupac's beats, because a lot of people would be comparing me to Tupac, like female version, I guess, because I did listen to a lot of Pac. I'm a Pac fan, and I guess it's like embedded in my flow a little bit. So I took like Hail Mary, Picture Me Rolling, a couple other joints, Pac joints, put it on a mixtape called the Mac Hervelli mixtape. And I've been pushing mad units since, like, I would say I dropped that in like 2009, and then from 2009 till I've been like, I got it online, you know, I'll be pushing on the street. That's how I like basically pay bills, you know what I mean? I just gotta, you know, go to any block in the world and I can sell my mixtape. And a lot of people know me as that, so it's Infinite Wiz, aka Shorty Real, alias Mac Hervelli. That's the whole title, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people know me as certain things. And right now I think Infinite Wiz is what I'm going to be presenting to the world, with my first debut album coming up. I got labels actually looking right now. I'm not gonna put it out there who, but definitely first quarter. I'm looking to work with a label that's major, and they're really willing to back me with the marketing and all that, because it's all a brand. Infinite Wiz is the brand, and that's what I'm pushing right now. Infinite Enterprises. I'm working with Wu-Tang Management, Lifesteed Media. Shout out to Divine, Everlasting Allah. That's my manager. He managed Young Dirty Bastards, Flipstar. You know, we got he's the A&R for Protect Your Neck Records. So that's, you know, I'm repping Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is forever. That's another way I came into hip hop, is listening to Wu-Tang, listening to the guys, listening to Rakim, KRS-One. All the real females that's out there that set and paved the way for me to be able to do it independently like I'm doing it right now, and not have to come up under a camp. Like, I could just be me.
I heard the word enterprise.
Right.
Let's talk about that, because it's important to let other people know.
Well, I mean, Infinite Enterprises with a Z, it's like, to me, it's a conglomerate of like a team of bosses. That's what I put on my card. Because like, I work with bosses, I work with people that already got everything going on for themselves. And I feel like when we come together as bosses, as generals, you know, when I say all my G's, I'm talking about my generals. Shout out to General Taylor for the interview, you feel me? And it feels like, I think if we have like a group of people collectively, even as a people, if we all collectively come together as entrepreneurs, as leaders, especially in the hip hop industry, and I feel like I'm a part of a different genre. I'm like on revolutionary hip hop, you know, people that are gonna be legacies like Big and Pac and Run DMC and Afro Bambaataa and shout out to Zulu Nation. Like they're another family that, like, since I came to New York, because I'm from Florida, I've been in New York about 6 years now, and Zulu Nation definitely reached out, building with them and a lot of the community as well. And just, you know, repping for the people, because it's more than hip hop for me. Like I said, it's a lifestyle, it's a culture, and that's what I'm repping for the female MCs all over the world, and that came before me and set the way so that I could do what I do.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I mean, I don't know, my goal is kind of, my view and vision is kind of going toward Africa, just because as a displaced African of the transatlantic slave trade, I just use big words, but I feel like that's where all of my people that don't know their history and that have been, you know, taken and robbed of that, that's the way we'll get our reparations. So I'm working on that actually right now. I'm in the UN with the Goodwill Ambassador to Africa, Queen Mother, Dr. Doris Blakely, and I've been actually assisting her with her nonprofit. I'm the youth representative for New Future Foundation, and that's our goal. We're trying to get back to Africa, bring hip hop to Africa, bring this generation back to the motherland so that we could learn who we are, because that's what was robbed of us, and that's the only way we'll get reparations. It's not about 40 acres and a mule. It's about getting what was robbed and took it from us, which is who was my great-great-great-grandfather. I'll never know unless I, you know, had the opportunity to find out.
Okay. I noticed you got a lot of tattoos. How many tattoos do you have?
I lost count, but I know I got my whole leg done. Like, you can't see it with my pants on. This was like my first tattoo. And I got my arm here, say Africa. The red, black, and green, RBG, that's the colors of my people. Outlaw.
And on your neck?
Yeah, Infinite Wiz. Get that Outlaw tat, you know what I mean? Outlaw for life, that's O for L. You know, I'm rocking with Matula Shakur too, Pac's father. You know what I mean? And yeah, my leg is like, I'm kind of building like heaven. It's like, it starts off with like a rose from concrete and comes up to like the sky. But, and I got Shorty Real on the belly.
Alright, well.
Shorty Real with me forever, but I don't know, tattoos are just addictive, man. It's a way of art. This is my temple, I can decorate it how I want, I guess. If they mad, let them be mad.